Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Master's Table. Glad you joined us today.
Yep.
I'm Tina Cleveland, your co-host. This is Frankie, your host and your cook. We got a wonderful dish for you today. You want to tell them what it is?
I can if you want me to. I thought you was going to keep on talking.
No, you go ahead.
This is probably one of my daughter's favorite dishes. She likes this. We're going to do it's just a baked chicken, really. It's pretty simple, but it's
Very healthy.
I like to call this a garlic cheese baked chicken, and I'll show you. We're going to bring this together in just a few minutes. We got of course we got some boneless, skinless chicken breast. We got some fresh onion. We got some tomatoes. We got some your favorite.
Asparagus, yeah.
Tina loves asparagus. We eat a lot of asparagus. All that's going to be in our sauce. So we're gonna sear this chicken and get it in the oven so we can put this sauce together. But this comes together really, really quick. This is a great weeknight meal that you can have in front of your family really fast. So just stay with us. If you want this recipe, find us at frankie393@gmail.com. You can send me an email, or you can reach out on the website at masterstable.shop, and we'll be right back.
Amen.
Well, here we are. We're back, Miss Cleveland. You ready to get this thing going?
I'm ready to learn.
We ain't gonna over talk it. We're just gonna get right on into this one. This is about, I don't know, that's probably two tablespoons of butter. And you know my old saying, butter makes everything, no, not bigger, better. Makes everything better. So
bigger and better. Yeah,
we put a little bit of, I think we had a little bit of that olive oil I put in here. And I just want to start this off. All we want to do is start by searing this chicken. We're just going to sear this, just get a little crust on it.
Somebody says they don't know what sear means. What does that mean?
Well, this is what we're fixing to learn.
Brown it?
Yeah, we're just going to, just brown it, seal it on the outside, and we're going to pop it in the oven and finish cooking it while we put these other ingredients together. So we're going to go ahead and drop this in. And we're going to season it up, and we'll get it ready for the oven. Because it don't take this long. I cut these down. If these are really thick, you may want to cut them like in half. Some of these I cut in half so that they're similar in the same thickness, so they all cook at the same time. So like I say, we're not trying to cook this done. Listen to me now. Hear me well now. We're not trying to get this done. We're just trying to get it seasoned and get it ready to go in the oven. So we're going to cut that on up a little bit more, because we want that to get that chicken, make cool our pan down a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm done with my chicken. I'm going to move this out of the way, because we don't want anything that's been fooling with the raw meat, got anything to do with any of our vegetables or anything. So I will keep this fork so we'll be able to flip it though. But we're going to let that go. First of all, we're going to season a little bit of our own all-purpose. You could go with garlic, onion, black pepper, salt. This has got it all in it. Yep. Onion powder, this has got it all. So we're going to go ahead and season this just a little bit.
And if you want any of this seasoning, you can go to masterstable.shop.
Yep.
You can order it. It's really good.
And we're going to
this one.
Lemon pepper. This is a garlic and basil, but we're going to put just a little bit of lemon on it, just a little bit of this zest. I don't want to overpower it with this, because we are going to put some basil, but we want to put just a little bit of that zest on there. And we're gonna let those cook, and see, like this chicken, see, that's kind of, it'll release real well when it's time to turn it. We want to get just a little sear, just a little quick crust on the outside. And while that's going, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go ahead and work on this right here just a little bit. I've got the oven, should be about up to, I got it at 375. Go ahead and cut your oven on, let it be heating up. We got some garlic. We got a lot of good stuff right here. A lot of good flavor gonna come together. It's already happening right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and, while we're waiting on that chicken on that side, Tina, we'll be ready to flip it in we'll give it a couple more minutes.
You just let me know when you want me to
I know she loves to move it and flip it and turn it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with her. I have to keep her.
You just let me know and I'll flip.
Keep you in check. I'm gonna chop us a little bit of onion. I'm gonna get this stuff. This is what we're gonna start with our tomato and basil and herb and onion. All this is going. I'm getting hungry just thinking about what we're getting ready to do right here. So I'm gonna finish chopping this while that's doing good over there. I was afraid it wasn't gonna get hot enough. That chicken was cold. It cooled that pan way down. And you know, we try to get this ready before we go to break, but we don't have long. So that's one of my main things is to hurry up and get it ready while we're on the air. And if I can hurry up and get it ready while I'm on air, you can hurry up and have it ready for your family when you get home in the afternoons from work. That's my main goal, is to get you in the kitchen and out real quick with something that's good and something that's simple. And that's the reason why I don't like to over-talk this stuff too much, because you over-talk it sometimes, you make it too complicated. So that's true with everything, ain't it? Go on and preach right there, Miss Cleveland. So I think the recipe I've got, it calls for probably maybe a cup or so. So I'm gonna cut, I got a lot of asparagus right here, so I'm gonna cut this down just into, I don't wanna cut it down too little. We're gonna do it about like this. This is probably more than what it calls for, and I may not use all of this, but I'm just gonna cut this down about that size and get this ready right here for what we're gonna do. And that sounds pretty good. Let's just take a peek right here and look. That's getting a little bit. We want a little bit. That's what we're looking for.
There you go, right there.
That's what we're looking for. See, with this top, see that toward the middle,
yeah,
a little bit better, but it's okay. We just want to get a little crust, a little sear. That's your flavor. We want to get a little bit of that on both sides, and then we're going. While that's going right there, we'll go ahead and I'll go back with my seasoning.
Put seasoning on both sides.
Yeah, we're going. And I could have seasoned it before we put it in, but I was just trying to hurry up and get it going. I didn't want to waste a whole lot of time over here. I wanted to season it because, you know, while it's wet, the seasoning adheres to it better. But, you know, all this flavor is going to come together in just a little bit anyway. And so, you know what I'm going to do to this side right here, just a little bit. I got to have just a little bit of y'all know me, I love just a little bit of taste of Creole. That's just I'm going to do that on one side. That's just one side. I'm not going to heat it up too much. So we're getting a good sear on this. I love chicken. I like fried chicken. I like baked chicken. I like boiled chicken. I like barbecue chicken. I like chicken salad. I like chicken on a stick. I like any kind of chicken. I like it all.
Our dog likes chicken.
Yeah, Miss Marley would be all about this. Our dog, Miss Marley, is so spoiled. She gets boiled chicken like this every other day. We boil chicken and rice, and that's what she eats. Yep. You think she ain't spoiled. She's about as spoiled as you are, ain't she?
Not quite.
Almost.
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 I'm gonna spoil her, but.
I know you will.
Actually, she's our grand dog.
Yep, she's our grand dog.
But she might as well be ours.
Yep. We take good care of her, don't we?
Yeah.
All right.
And you do too, Taylor. I got to get my daughter a perk in for her.
Taylor works all the time.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and I put a little bit of oil on this just so it wouldn't stick. So we're gonna go ahead and get this on here. We want to pop this in the oven just for a little bit. We want to get this to about turn it down. So we're just gonna use all that goodness that's in there. We're gonna go ahead and, matter of fact, before I pop it in there, right here's what we're gonna do. Watch what we're gonna do right here. We're gonna go ahead and get a half stick of butter, and this might be a little bit hot, so be careful right here. Go ahead and just kind of move that around a bit.
I can do that.
Yep, you can do that. I like it. We're gonna pop this 375. We're gonna pop this in, and we're gonna check it a little bit. I'm gonna check it in about 10 minutes or so. We want to get it to about 165. A lot of ovens are different, so I don't know how long it'll take in yours or how long it takes in mine sometimes, but I'll check it. I'll give it a little bit because it's already on its way, so we just want to get that center to 165. So, Miss Cleveland, you got that started right there. We're going to start adding just a few vegetables and a little bit of flour here in just a minute. You know, the last show, or a couple of shows back, we done almost like a roux base. And remember, we had the vegetables in there and we put the flour, and you was talking about it was sticking to the pan.
Yep.
Well, we're fixing to do that again.
Okay.
It's going to be just like that, but it's all going to come together here in just a few minutes. I'm going to show you. So what we'll start with, Benz, you got that. I need to get you a wooden, one of those wooden. You got one back there? Get one that's got the flat end on it, because we really want to keep this moving. Once you start, this right here this could be close to 3. It's probably 2.5 tablespoons of flour. Just keep that moving. Don't let that get still. Like I say, we're just building our base for our sauce. And see all that stuff, all that good stuff that's on the bottom of the pan that was stuck from that chicken. See all that's all the flavor. Y'all say that's burn up stuff. No, that's flavor. And we're gonna get all that off the bottom of the pan. We're gonna let that cook. Just like I said, we're not making a roux. You could cook this 20 minutes or so if you was making a roux, or even longer. But we're just trying to get the raw taste of the flour out, and so this is going to be our base for our sauce. So let you just keep on moving that around. So it's been in there. It's probably good now.
Brown gravy.
Yeah. Well, you could make that could turn into some good gravy, but this right here is going to be better than gravy. So what we're getting ready to do now is go ahead and, that you got that, we're going to add, this is about a cup and a half, or about a cup and a third, really. I mean, we may add a little bit more. This is just chicken broth. This will deglaze the pan, and this is going to make all that stuff turn loose on the bottom now, but that's going to really thicken up. So I'm going to go ahead and get us about another cup or half a cup of this chicken broth ready, because you may need a little bit more, because it may thicken up a little bit more than we want it to. But what we're going to do with this is keep moving that around, and it's going to thicken as that cooks, and you can bring that temperature down just a little bit. We're going to give you just a little bit more. We want that to thicken up just a little bit. Now we're just going to add some of these onions, and also I want you to keep that moving. We're going to keep that moving right there. We're going to add these onions, and we're going to start adding this asparagus. And then we're going to bring the star of this party that's coming together in this pan right here in a minute. It's going to be our garlic cheese. Now that's cooling off. I'm going to bring that back up. You're going to turn that back down in just a minute. I want you to let that keep on coming together. It looks pretty good, Miss Cleveland, just like that. We ain't even got no chicken in there yet.
I guess you could, if you were a vegetarian.
That would do it right there. That would be all you would need right there. And while that temperature's coming back up, I'm going to go ahead and get my handy dandy. You know what I got to do right here? Just something about it. Love this garlic. I told you this is going to be a garlic and basil. And we ain't done yet. We got some more good stuff to go on.
What is that?
That's just a core of that onion. It's fine. It's just onion. Let me break this off the end right there. It'll break up when it gets a little bit softer. I mean, gets a little bit cooked a little bit. It'll. So that's a pretty thick base, and as that comes back up to a boil, it's going to thicken a little bit more. And we may add just a little bit more. We'll see where that gets to. I'm gonna put you just a pinch, because we didn't add any salt a while ago in the beginning, because I told you we used our AP, and it's very low sodium. So we always got to add a little bit of salt just for flavor. We're gonna put a little bit of fresh ground black. Remind me, I want to get me a coarse pepper grinder. This one does it real fine. I want one that does it real coarse. I like the coarse pepper.
We got a friend back home that loves black pepper. And if he were eating
if Brother Mark was here, you wouldn't even be able to see this. It would be just completely black.
It's crazy how much pepper he puts on there.
He talks about pepper like I talk about butter.
Yeah.
I say butter makes everything better, and he said pepper makes everything better.
Oh my gosh.
We was at Shoney's or somewhere one time eating late one night, and he, I can't remember where we was at, but he was somewhere eating, and I couldn't even see his eggs. They were so black. I'm like, oh my goodness. So now we're going to add about a teaspoon. This is just Dijon mustard. Gonna add that. That's just a little bit more flavor, and then we're gonna put just a little bit of this, just dry. You could use fresh basil, but this is just dried basil we're gonna use today. We're gonna add just a little bit of this. This is probably, let's see what we got right there, Miss Cleveland. That's probably gonna be about a teaspoon. We'll say about a teaspoon. Teaspoon of the dried basil.
Smells good.
Yep, it's looking good. It's like it's coming on together. Let it boil just for a minute, and then you can reduce it down to. You can go ahead and reduce it down to medium. It ought to stay right there now. It ought to stay right there. We just want those to soften up a little bit. I don't want them cooked all the way. You know, like I've said before, when I'm cooking, I don't like my vegetables. Some people like them just cooked just plumb mushy. I don't like them cooked all the way just soft. The only thing I like cooked down like that is my green beans. I like soft green beans. But when it comes to other vegetables, I want a little bit of just a little bit of a crunch. I don't want them like raw in it, but I do want a little bit of a crunch. But this comes together really fast. I mean, this is very simple, very easy. So I'm gonna check that chicken in just a minute.
Why don't you tell them about sending us a recipe or?
Yeah, we was talking about. Let me throw this out there at you for the ones of you who's been watching the show and keeping up with us. This is what I want you to do. I want you to send me a recipe, or tell me something that you want me to cook. If you want me to try your recipe, we'll cook your recipe on air.
Yep.
But if you if there's something that you like at your favorite restaurant per se, and we're gonna start doing some of that too. If there's something that you really like and you want to know how to cook it, I'll show you how to cook it at home and make it just as good, just about as good as what you go out and eat. We perfected some of those dishes pretty good at home, hadn't we, Miss Cleveland?
You have.
Well, you've helped me. She's always, see, she says I'm the cook. She's the one cooking right now. But what I want you to do is send me in a recipe or send me in a request. And what we're going to do over the next few weeks, we'll talk about this and we'll give you an update next week. But the people that send in the recipe, what I'm trying to say is we're going to put those names in a hat and we're going to have a drawing and we're going to give you a master's table apron and a t-shirt.
Or it could be something else.
I don't know.
It could be.
It might be. It could be, but
you'll get a free gift. How about that?
I think we'll start out with an apron and a t-shirt. If you just send in a request or send in a recipe, because we would love to cook something that you like. So just be thinking about that. Frankie393@gmail.com is where you can send it to. Send it, yep. And then we'll move forward from there. So, what do you think, Miss Cleveland? You think it's about?
What do you think?
Is it done enough for you? It's getting close. Let me check on our chicken, see where it's at. Yeah, it's getting there. It's almost there. We'll let it give it just a couple more minutes. But I think that'd be a great idea and a great way to connect with some of our friends and family that watches the show. Because y'all really, if you're hanging out with us and watching the show, you're an extended part of our family. So
and we appreciate it.
Yes, we very much well appreciate it. Very much. I'm gonna check that right quick to in the middle of that. That's almost there. Almost, just a couple.
Who knows? We might have you on the show one day.
That's right. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about having some guest co-host on. So be thinking about that. Like I say, just stay in touch with us and send us those recipes and what you might want to see cooked. Now this would probably. Let me say something about this. This right here would probably pair real well with rice. You could have some kind of rice or. I would probably put a big gob of creamed potatoes beside this and rake some of that gravy and eat those vegetables beside that with the chicken. But I mean, this comes together and would pair with.
You could use Salisbury steak. You could put steak in here.
Yeah, you
hamburger
could.
Steak.
Yeah. You can put hamburger steak in anything.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I like all that. So I think.
You know, when you're from the South, you just make up dishes. It don't matter what.
Well, half the stuff.
Make them up, and it's good.
Half of some of these dishes right here will make up dishes.
Sometimes you look in the refrigerator and see what you got left, and you throw it in there, and you've made a new dish.
That's where this come from. This come from a refrigerator clean out. This recipe come from a refrigerator. We had some asparagus that need to be cooked, and we started putting a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we got that thing right where we wanted it. So here it is. A little bit of basil, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now, you got that about right there now. Before we get ready to put the chicken in, I didn't want these to get too done, but watch what we're fixing to do with these right here. We're going to add just a few of these tomatoes. That's the reason why I call this a garlic, herb, and tomato basil.
Well, if nothing else, it's pretty.
Yeah. Well, this gives it a little pop of color, don't it? Even though I don't see color that well. See, once you cover them up, I don't even see them.
Yep.
Because these are some cute little tomatoes.
Cute?
Yeah, they cute. They cute. You pretty, they cute. How about that?
Okay.
Get my points in for today.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep on stirring, Miss Cleveland. Everything will be all right.
Yeah.
I like the way that looks. So that's a good temperature, and that looks like it's coming together real well. So what we're going to do is cut up a few more of these tomatoes. How many we got in there?
How many tomatoes?
Yeah, I can't tell you. How many? Are they spread out pretty good?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be.
More.
I generally try to put about a cup or so.
Now, if you can't eat tomatoes, and Frankie, he can't eat tomatoes because of the acid.
Yeah, they don't like me.
All you gotta do is leave the tomatoes out. Don't put them in here.
I like the tomatoes, but they just don't like me. I can do. It's one of those things I can do with or do without. Now, like the raw onions, I don't particularly like raw onions. I can eat them, but they're not my favorite. Which let me do about two or three more.
No, I think that's enough.
That's enough. One more. Got to do one more. One more. I don't do the raw onions that much. Everybody says you can't eat a hot dog without onions on it, but I can. I don't like them. I don't like the raw onions, but I love all of them cooked, and I like the tomatoes cooked better than I like them raw. But That looks pretty good right there. I think our chicken is probably, it was almost there. Let me give it one more quick little, I've been poking it. You didn't see me poke it a while ago. I've been checking these thick pieces, so it's, yeah, this is right there at it. I'm gonna give it about.
And there again, a meat thermometer. Invest in a meat thermometer.
Yep, it's one of the
You'll
best.
be happy.
You will enjoy your meat much better if you check it with a meat thermometer, because
Yep.
I promise you, with a meat thermometer, you will not overcook it and you won't dry it out. It'll be right where you want it. So before we put that chicken in there, I told you we had one last star of this party that's going on in this pot right here, and you can. This is a garlic herb cheese. I picked it up at the big box store in the refrigerator section up front. This is almost like a cracker cheese that you would dip and put your crackers in. And you can, if you don't want to buy this cheese like this, this already got the garlic and stuff in it, you can take a half a block of cream cheese and take you about 2 cloves of fresh garlic and mince that and put it in there, and then melt it in there the same. But what I want you to do, this is going to be a cream base. So as you get that melting, I'm getting ready to pull this chicken, and we're going to add this chicken. And before we go to break, we're going to see what it looks like, and we're going to come back and plate it up in a few minutes. But as it heats up, that'll melt and move throughout that pretty good. So
Yeah, that looks good.
that makes it real creamy. See, it's got a lot going on in there. There's a lot of flavor going on in there. It's got that basil, got garlic, got the tomatoes and the asparagus and cheese. Oh my goodness! And we started out with butter. That butter makes everything better. So
I think I mistakenly said this was a healthy dish.
well, it started out healthy, but
Started out healthy.
yeah, it took a turn. But you know what? That's one thing. That's one request too that somebody had mentioned. That's one thing we'll talk about. We can make a healthy dish, and this is really not that healthy. I mean, unhealthy. I mean, really, if you think about, take the butter out of it and use a little bit of oil, and that's not much cheese. That's not much cheese at all. So what we're getting ready to do, Miss Cleveland, let me find my
Was a lot of
something to pull this out with. We're gonna take this chicken out, because this chicken is right where I want it right now. We're gonna add it to that and let it finish cooking in that sauce right there. This is what we're getting ready to do right here. Let me get me a. Let me have your fork right there. This is what we're getting ready to do right here. We're gonna go ahead and just put this over in here. We'll let that continue to cook just a little bit. Just push that over and just keep on coating those. See, this chicken is real tender. I mean, that's real tender, and it's still, I mean, that's just as tender as it can be right there. And see, and it's almost fully done, and now this right here is going to push it right on over the top.
Push it over the edge.
Push it right on over. I think there was a song about that one time. All right. What you think, Miss Cleveland?
I think it's looking good.
I think we got this ready just in time, right before we get ready to go to break here in a minute.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is a simple dish, but this is a very tasteful dish. And like I say, it's got a lot going on in here with the tomatoes and all the herbs and with the chicken and vegetables. I mean, this is just a good, easy. Your kids are like this. Just don't tell them. So you could sneak some vegetables in on them, the tomatoes and the asparagus. So just hang with us. We're gonna plate this up. We're gonna be right back.
And get your tip of the day.
Tip of the day is coming right here on the master's table. Well,
all right, welcome back.
Here it
Welcome
is.
back. Let me give you the tip of the day before we go any further. The
Yeah,
tip of the day, listen carefully. Take your onions, wrap them in aluminum foil. That will keep them from sprouting or becoming soft. We have a terrible time at our house with that. I did not know that. The cook did not know that. So that's a great tip. I can't wait.
I didn't know that.
I can't wait to try it.
We have a drawer with a garden growing in it. We have onion sprouts and potato sprouts and garlic sprouts.
Yeah.
We buy this stuff in bulk, and a lot of times it gets forgot about.
Aluminum foil, wrap them. You shouldn't have a problem with them getting soft or sprouting.
This chicken is really good, Miss Cleveland.
All right, and what is this called?
This is just called a garlic. I call it garlic and herb tomato base.
Tomato-based garlic and herb chicken. Mm-hmm. Tomato-based garlic and herb chicken.
Or you can just call it an herb chicken if you wanted to. But the star of it is, I told you, is that garlic cheese that we put in it. Yeah. That's what makes it creamy. And we're just letting this simmer just a little bit more. but the chicken was done when it come out of the oven. But we're just letting it simmer and just kind of marinate in that. But you see the asparagus and the tomatoes. This is a really good dish, really easy. Like I say, you could do a bag of rice in the microwave, and you got a good meal in front of your family in just in 30 minutes. So try this one. This is a good one right here.
Yep.
And if you want these recipes, reach out to me at frankie393@gmail.com, or you can go to the masterstable.shop. We have our seasonings on there right now, and we're going to putting some apparel on there. We're going to put the aprons and t-shirts on there eventually. But the reason why I said to go there, you don't have to go there and buy this. Buy it if you want it. But if not, just go there and send me a message. And until next time.
We love you. God bless you. God is good. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, on the Master's Table.